You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama. You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Reaching all the way back to 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition. Here is your host of Fate Radio, Kat Hobson.
It's Wednesday night, time for the Paranormal Experience radio show with host Kat Hobson. Kick back, relax, and get ready to learn. Welcome to the show. Now, here's Kat.
Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Experience Radio. I am Kat Hobson, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be a fantastic show. I am looking forward to having a discussion with Dr. Rita Louise. I am fascinated by her books. In fact, I was just telling her before the show that I have gone down the rabbit hole doing my research on this so many times. The actual subject matter that she covers is mesmerizing. She discusses ancient history. She discusses human origins. She discusses spirits and attached entities and the power within. Her books are astounding. They cover the Nephilim and the reptilian agenda. Her newest book, Stepping Out of Eden, will give you pause. Truly it will. She is just absolutely fantastic. And I feel like a kindred spirit is showing up here to have a conversation with me. And yeah, I just want to let everyone know that I'm very well aware of what's been going on in the news. I want to, continue our prayers for the people that are affected by Michael. I want to offer prayers for healing in our nation because we're beyond the point of ludicrous and ridiculous behaviors, and it's everybody. So let's fix that, because you know what? It starts with you. You be who you think you should be the change you want to see, and it just goes rippling out across the whole spectrum, and we can bring positivity back. It is up to each individual, and we can do this. We are those people. Everybody is those people. And I just want to go ahead and bring in Dr. Rita.
Hey, Kat. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, thanks for being had. I'm glad you're here. I have been enjoying your research and your work and your shows and your appearances so much. You're a busy woman.
I try to keep out of trouble. But yes, never a dull moment around my house. Huh?
That's not as easy as one would think all the time.
No. I just found a t-shirt that says, I don't go looking for trouble, but somehow it always finds me.
That's an excellent shirt.
That's why I had to buy it.
Oh, yes, I would have done that. I saw one at a paranormal investigation we did this weekend. A friend wore to it, and it said, um, uh, it was a dinosaur, and it was just, don't you hate it when your mind just goes kaput?
Mm-hmm. I do. It's like, well, ask me in a few minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it'll come back. I'm old. It loses its place in the file cabinet sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got your new book, Stepping Out of Eden, going on, which in it you referenced a lot to man-made. I'm just, you cover so many various topics on subjects that fascinate me that are you good with just free flow?
I am totally good with free flow. I will go anywhere you need me to go.
Okay. Well, in any place that you decide you want to as well.
Okay.
Because I'm just, this is about you. This is you're the guest. And I like the fact that you do the videos as well.
Well, one of the things that I have found is that people don't read that much anymore, or you have to kind of entice them in a little bit. And I find that the videos, they're short, they're sweet, they have a message, and they're educational.
Yes. And do you find that people who watch those tend to go get the books?
I haven't necessarily found a direct correlation. I mean, I cover, I talk about a lot of different topics, ancient mysteries, mythology, ancient aliens, ghosts, and health and healing. I mean, and intuition. I mean, so it's like I cover a lot of areas. And where I have found, I've done a series of videos on entity attachments. And so I've found more of a correlation in that area more than the ancient mysteries area. But, I'm always still hopeful. And, I have found that I have this very creative bug within me. And if I'm not writing something or producing a video, or I've been remodeling a historic home, if I'm not doing something with some creative piece to it, I get really bored.
Right? I cannot stand to sit and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not once my coffee kicks in anyway. And that is the truth. That's just the way I roll. But it is good because one of my dogs has thyroid disease and he has to take medication. So by the time that he has his hour pass, my coffee's kicked in and we have a big day. So
good.
It works out great. I am curious as to what drew you into these studies, because these are not something that the average bear runs across.
Well, I mean, okay, so here's my story. So growing up, we had to read books for our allowance. And so my first love in life was archaeology and anthropology. And so, all right, I went to Catholic school and we had to do a paper of what we wanted to do, like for our senior project in 8th grade. And I wanted to be an archaeologist. And so by that time, I was very well versed in the theory of evolution. And, I would, as an adult, got to go to the La Brea tar pit that I thought would be out in the middle of nowhere. And it turned out to be in downtown LA, and then I had to go.
Shock, right? Yeah.
But then I had to go because it was like, oh my God, it's La Brea tar pit. I mean, because I had read about it and all these finds there for all of these years. So that went on till I was in like 7th grade. And then I got turned on to the concept of ESP, extrasensory perception, better known as psychic stuff today. Right. And kind of moved in the library from the archaeology and anthropology department to the ESP department, which wasn't very big. And it was right next to witchcraft, which I couldn't touch because I went to Catholic school and it was witchcraft. And, and then as time moved on, I, started reading self-help books and Be Here Now and Shakti Gawan and, like all of these people. And, just really stayed in that psychic, metaphysical area. Studied at the Berkeley Psychic Institute, and finished up there, got a certification as a Reiki master, studied hypnotherapy, which I discovered that's not my thing.
It's not everybody's. That's a very varied topic.
And was doing readings and was doing a lot of energy work with people, found out that one of the gifts, because people that have psychic abilities, we don't all tap into the same thing. Like I'm not a medium. I don't talk to dead people. I'm really not interested in talking to dead people. If someone has a specific question in the course of a reading, I don't have an issue tuning into that. I do spirit release work, so I guess that is kind of dead people. But that's not, to sit there and, talk to grandma, not my thing. But my thing is talking about people's health and wellness and what's going on in their body. For some reason, that just comes to me just so easily. So ended up going back to school and getting a degree as a naturopath, which is a holistic physician, and then a PhD in natural health counseling. So then I was doing that work for, actually a very long time. And, the whole ancient alien concept came up again. I mean, because Eric von Däniken and, people like that were writing in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, which I read that material too. But it was coming back to the forefront. And, through a number of unfolding events, I kind of got back into it. And it was so cool because I got back to really my first love in life, which was, like archaeology and anthropology. And I have a minor in art history, an undeclared minor in art history, So, I mean, there's always been this love of anything really old and a fascination with it. And so I feel like when I approach some of this stuff, it's looking at it from, like the human point of view and just looking at things that make sense. And why would we do that? And what's our story? What do we have in this whole thing? And just really trying to answer my own questions,
Well,
because you've
done a pretty good job of that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You give me more questions, but that's okay. But when I was reading Stepping Out of Eden, it was almost just like well, here's this. Well, I'll be. I did not anticipate that being in the pages of this book. And I'm going to be honest, I have not finished it because I have been taking my time. I've been taking notes as I go because I'm a weirdo like that. But it's just fascinating to me. And when I'm finished a topic, I'm like, I wonder if that is covered over here. So I go to your next book that I have. And I've just been kind of, like I said, rabbit holes. I've been down so many rabbit holes. But I think that's a great thing because that's how I learn. I think a lot of people do that. But
and that's how I write. I'll start with a question or a question that I feel needs to be answered in the progress of unraveling this mystery, and then it's like I just start going and going and going and going until it's kind of like, I get the message that it's time to stop, I guess, or I've unraveled everything and then, try to put it together. One of the comments that I have gotten from a lot of people is, with the man-made. So I have a book, Man-Made, The Chronicles of Our Extraterrestrial Gods, that was picked up by Red Wheel Weiser, which was released as E.T. Chronicles, What Myth and Legend Has to Say About Human Origin. So if I say Man-Made or E.T. Chronicles, it's the same book. So if anyone's interested in getting a book, you don't need to buy both of them because they are one and the same. And I just like to make that clear.